And we're back. Pardon my surroundings right now. I'm at an undisclosed location and the lighting isn't that great, but bear with me. I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. I mean, I'm sorry for the wait. So we are at the season finale. Oh my God. Where did time go? Seriously. The name of the episode is Low Key Lost. Like, seriously, I'm low-key lost now because I don't have any more Insecure episodes to review until maybe 2022. But anywho, the episode opens with Issa at a farmer's market. She's meeting up with Lawrence, and we find out Lawrence got the job in San Francisco, and Issa's happy for him. She even mentions a congratulatory fuck, and who doesn't love a congratulatory fuck? I can use a congratulatory fuck right now. Anyway, the question is asked, is distance a deal breaker? And Issa wants to make it work. Like, she says she might even move to San Francisco for him. But as we can see, like, they're back on. Like, they're together now, for real. And it's good to see that they both want to make it work. So the episode starts. We are at Molly's work function, and she's with Andrew, looking quite dapper. So it looks like they're having a good time. One of Molly's co-workers comes up and invites them to like a little after party situation. And then they both answer with opposite replies. Molly actually wants Andrew to go, even though he really doesn't feel like it. And she kind of just please, come on. So Molly really wants him to go. And clearly Andrew isn't feeling it, but he does it for her because Andrew always bends a little bit for Molly. And we see a little annoyance, but he's fine with it for now. And we're at the next scene. We're at Nathan's barbershop. Issa's meeting him there. He introduces her to his co-workers and no one really cares. I feel like women are just invisible in these types of barbershops. So Issa follows him into the back room where there's all this extra space, and I'm guessing he's going to use that for more space to cut hair or to sell merchandise. He then apologizes for coming for Lawrence in the last episode. He admits that he was out of line and he actually felt some kind of way. He admitted that. So Issa says to him I just really want to be a good friend to you, and she wants to make it known that she's with Lawrence, and if that's going to be a problem for you, he stops her right there. He said, no, it's totally fine. I still want you to be in my life. And I like Nathan, but I don't like Nathan for Issa, and that's just my opinion. So we get back to Molly's place, and her and Andrew are coming back from the little after party that she dragged them to. Andrew looks noticeably bothered. But Molly's changing in the other room, and Andrew wants to see looking for LaToya. Now, this is the thing. It's crazy how, serious situations just arise out of something minute as Molly doesn't really feel like watching it right now. She wants him to wait to watch the show, even though he's ready to watch it now. He's like, well, fine, I'll just, do whatever you want to do again. So Molly picks up on that shade. She, goes up to is there a problem? And Andrew basically finally tells her what he's feeling, because it looked like he's been feeling this way for the past few episodes. Basically, anything that he wants to do, Molly shuts it down, but he always does stuff for Molly, and it's pretty much not reciprocated. Molly disagrees with him immediately, and Andrew's like, you're dismissing me like you always do. And he mentions that he always bends over backwards for her. And she's like, when did I bend over backwards for you? He's like, well, my brother. And she's like, why are you still holding on to this? And he reminds her you hold on to literally everything. And if you've seen Insecure season 1, 2, and 3, we know that Molly holds on to everything very tight. So as they're going back and forth, Molly sees that Kelly is calling her. She ignores it, and they go back at it. And Andrew's basically saying that he's just been fed up for a while of how this relationship is going. And then the phone rings again, and Molly just hurries up and answers it. And when she answers it, we cut to a scene because it gets very serious after this. So we jump to the next scene, and bitch, Tiffany is missing. And this is when the episode starts to shift. So Molly meets up at a frantic Derek's house right now. He's tripping. He's on the phone with the last place that she was seen with the movie theater, I believe. And all the girls are there, including Issa. And basically she's been missing for 24 hours. Now I'm really glad to see the rest of the cast finally, especially Kelly, who's providing some comic relief in this moment right now. So Derek decides to go to the movie theater where Tiffany was last seen, and the girls of course go with him. Now before we get into this scene, I'm just assuming that this is the serious event that is basically like a plot device to get Molly and Issa together in the same room. So we're at the movie theater and we get a surprise cameo from Prentice Penny, the showrunner for Insecure, who surprisingly has a wife and kids. I could have sworn he was gay. Anyway, we get a small interaction between Issa and Molly, a little awkwardness. They split up and try to find Tiffany. After all of them don't find Tiffany, they notice a bar and they're like, oh, well, of course she went to the bar. And sure enough, the bartender recognizes Tiffany. They gather that she went to one of the Mexican restaurants in LA. And Derek then mentions that he has a Lyft receipt from Tiffany. Now, before we go on, I want to say Kelly is doing a really good job of balancing the comic relief to the seriousness of the issue of Tiffany just missing. So thanks to Issa, we know the right restaurant that she is, according to her Lyft driving skills. So they're at the next spot, which is like a Mexican restaurant, and they actually find Tiffany on the video, and she's heading on a bus to somewhere. So they're looking for hotels on the bus route that she took. So we're on the bus and Derek is discussing Tiffany in a way of like, oh, well, I knew she was unhappy, but I guess I thought she would get over it. And when he's talking, it's basically paralleling. It's parallel to Issa and Molly's problems, clearly. Now, meanwhile, Kelly is being harassed by this strange white gay, and she tells him to fuck off and ignores him. And she finds out from the hotel, the Sheraton, that Tiffany is definitely there. So they try to head off on the bus, and they notice the bus is passing the Sheraton. And now there's this asshole bus driver who's basically telling them, y'all gotta wait until we get off on the stop. He's being a real dick about it. Kelly sees a red button to open the door. It's a pretty funny scene. So she presses the red button, the bus driver's tripping, and then he signals the police when they get off the bus. Now, as the girls and Derek are walking, they notice that the bus driver is behind them with the police, the strange white gay, and some Karen Becky figure as well with them. Now, this scene right here, I was getting real nervous because, you know, y'all know the climate that we're in right now, and I wasn't sure where the show was going to go with this issue. Because when I saw that cop grab his side, I was like, okay, should I be laughing right now? Is this going to be a comic relief moment, or is this about to get even more real? And thankfully, it was a comedic moment and nothing really escalated with the police situation. It was comedic, thank God. Now, they finally get to the Sheraton Hotel. Now, at this point, I was like, y'all, I was telling my friends as I was watching, like, I would be gagged if they wrote Amanda out the show. That would be basically 2 jobs that she lost in, like, less than a week's span. But yeah, anywho, I was just nervous when he got to the door. So I was like, I know they didn't kill Tiffany off. Hopefully not. But I didn't know what to expect. But she opens the door and we find that she's okay. And I'm guessing this is all a part of her postpartum depression arc. Now, I gotta say, Amanda had one job. And that was just to open the door in this scene. And it was a cringeworthy scene. It really wasn't acted that well. Is it just me? Y'all let me know. Because I'll let y'all know at the end of the review what I thought about this entire scene. But that was it. Like, we found Tiffany. We're glad she's okay. Next scene. So we're back with Molly and Andrew, and Molly's pretty somber about her situation with Tiffany, and she's talking to Andrew, And she's telling Andrew that she definitely wants to continue her conversation right now. It doesn't really matter how she's feeling right now because she feels like they really need to talk about this. So Andrew is telling Molly he feels that they're not on the same page right now. And Molly immediately brings up his brother, but he says, it's not just about my brother. I've been feeling this way about a lot of things for a long time. And he says, what if we're not that good of a match? Like, this shouldn't be so hard. And Molly's basically pleading, like just saying like, oh, so you're just going to give up on us? And I will work through this. We can go to therapy. And he stops her right there and he's like, Molly, is this what you want? Like, what are you fighting for, really? And she really thinks about it. And I think it's safe to say that they're done. Like, Andrew and Molly are over at this point. Next scene, we are at Issa's. Lawrence just walks through the door. Issa is, still feeling pretty somber about the Tiffany situation. And Lawrence is looking distressed. And Issa asks, what's wrong? Y'all, this is the part. Condola is pregnant. He says he got a call from he went up to meet Condola and she is fucking pregnant. All I said, I yelled at my TV saying, I knew it! I knew it. Like, I think we called it, y'all, didn't we? We called it at episode 7 or 8 that she was pregnant. So we see her and Issa going scene to scene, going back and forth from her to Issa talking to Lawrence. Now, Issa is clearly devastated. We flip back to Lawrence's point of view to Condola. He asks, is the baby mine? And she gives this, now nigga. Like, the disrespect of it all. So Issa asks, when did it happen? Apparently, it happened before they became a thing again, and it also happened before he accepted the job. We're assuming that Lawrence is telling the truth. Issa asks, is she gonna keep the baby? And Contessa says, I'm keeping it. And apparently abortion isn't an option, and she feels that this time around, she's ready to have a kid. Issa's now asking Lawrence, like, so are you going to get back with her now? And he said, no, of course not. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't plan it. He's also devastated. And we're back to Candleholder. And she says, I'm not expecting anything from you, Lawrence. You can be involved as much as you want, but either way, I'm good. Woo! Like, I'm devastated for Issa right now. Like, I don't even know what to say right now. At this point, Issa tells Lawrence she doesn't really know what to do at this point right now. It's just too much to handle. I'm assuming that Lawrence left and Issa's doing what we would all do in this moment. Like, she has nothing she can do, but she lights a blunt on her porch and just smokes and lays back and thinks. Now we're at the next scene. We're at the Ethiopian restaurant, the favorite restaurant of Issa and Molly. We see Issa walking up. She walks in and she's meeting up with Molly. They both looking somber as fuck right now. Like, they both have the look of heartbreak on their faces. So as Issa sees Molly, she says, I'm glad you came. And then Issa says, I'm glad you called. Now at this point, Issa takes a seat. We have the music queuing up and the camera is panning back. It's panning back and they start to talk. We don't hear shit. And then that's where the episode ends. I was frustrated as fuck at that because I was like, the one time when we get to hear the meaningful conversation, that's where the shit ends. This episode knocked the wind out of me. Seriously. Like, I feel that in this climate that we're in right now, like, I really think we needed some joy from Insecure, but we definitely didn't get that Sunday night. And I was disappointed by that. Now, granted, I was very entertained, but I'm just kind of on the fence with the episode itself. I didn't want the pregnancy plot line added. Like, I just really thought that would be predictable. Of course we called it. And I'm also kind of confused because in episode 8, Why didn't she tell Lawrence then? And then we hear in episode 9 when Issa clearly asked him, is everything good with you and Condola? Is that over? He says yes. So did he lie? Or did Condola just tell him now? I don't know. I don't get that part. Help me out in the comments if y'all understood that part. Another thing is, what do y'all think about her keeping the baby? Of course it's her choice, but basically what I'm asking, some people thought that she already got an abortion before her other marriage. I didn't get that from that scene. I just thought that, oh, okay, well, from the Thanksgiving episode, she wasn't ready to have a family with the guy, and she didn't have a kid at all. But now she's in a mindset of wanting the kids. So help me out in the comments again with that, because I didn't get that she had an abortion before, but some of my friends got that from that conversation. But yeah, we definitely called it. Now, the Tiffany scene. Now, I think that ran a little bit long. Unfortunately, I feel like the show jumped the shark with this because it just felt really odd, the seriousness of the matter with the show. I also felt like this was really anticlimactic with the whole Tiffany situation when they were looking for her. It was just not that much payoff at all. I felt like it was just used. Was this just the plot device to get Issa and Molly back together? Because, I don't know, not only did Amanda do a terrible job acting in that scene, I just thought, okay, what was the payoff here, you know? Also, Andrew and Molly. We called it. Of course they weren't going to be together anymore. I think Andrew, I'm on the side of Andrew on this. You can't be walking on eggshells, bending over backwards for someone who especially doesn't reciprocate that to you. So, to no one's surprise. But I would be fine with that, Molly being single, but Condola being pregnant, I was just hoping it wasn't going that way, that route. Apparently, I don't watch the game, y'all, but a lot of people were making game comparisons to that as well. Now, what I did like about the Condola and Issa scene, I love the way they shot that, back and forth, back and forth. I really thought that was a good touch to that scene. Now, my thoughts on the entire season. I mean, it's Insecure. It's an iconic show. I enjoyed the ride. I would say I would give the season a B. Hopefully next season they have 10 episodes and they can definitely pace the show differently and give characters that I wanted to see more of, like Kelly, Issa's brother, maybe Chad next season. Just something. And they really have so much to go off of. And will Lawrence be in the next season? Will Nathan be in the next season? Insecure ended on a very somber, depressing, sad note to me, but it is what it is. Season 5, I'm excited for it. I might be 37 when that comes out. I don't know, in 2022. So hopefully we all get over the Rona and they can get back to work and give us this next season 5. Now it's the last episode. Hopefully I can find something else to review in these next coming weeks. I want to thank y'all so much on this ride of reviewing Insecure. It was one of my most popular TV reviews that I do. I'm kind of sad that it's the last episode, but let me know your thoughts on this season finale of this episode. I can't wait to read the comments because this is Twitter blew up after this episode, let's just say that. So like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see y'all for the next video.